Good evening, Bruin fans, and welcome to another edition of Season 4 here of Something Brewing with Coach Cook. And between my personal schedule and Coach Cook's appointments, hey, we're finally back on track here with something. Something Brewing episode and happy Halloween here, Coach Cook. How you doing?
Absolutely. Doing well, man. Mark, I'm doing well. Just trying to come to balance from the anesthesia. But
Right.
I am coherent and, in a good spirit. Happy Halloween to you as well. And, we got a JV game on Halloween night, so it's kind of
Yes.
fun to watch these guys get after it.
Right. And the thing is even with your appointment and a little anesthesia, hey, we don't have you on the injured list, and the show must go on.
Right, the show must go on, right? We got to come to balance, like we tell our athletes. But yeah, we're here, man. I'm excited to talk Bruin football. Our past few seasons, just two, have been very challenging to lead, not lead the kids, but you're so used to winning that you hit adversity, and it's like, can the coach handle success? Can he handle failure? Can he lead them both? And I think I've done a great job as the head coach leading this program. My kids have competed every week, which that's the culture. That is who Western Branch is, and we're competing to get in the playoffs for the fourth straight season. So for us, that's equivalent to a college team, going to four straight bowl games. So
Right.
that's our goal, that's our energy, and that's what we're looking forward to doing.
Yes, and the other thing is even though I've been with personal and work stuff, been following the team from afar, and
Yeah,
then also with Northern Virginia and 94.1 putting out the putting out the rankings. 94.1 more or less putting out the rankings here for all of the regions here in the 757. Northern Virginia page been pretty much focusing on region 6, but I know that those projections are for the fans, while the team just focuses on 1-0. And with us being group 6, we are at the time of our schedule where we play the local Group 6 schools here in Chesapeake. Start with our JV team hosting Grassfield tonight.
correct, correct. So Coach Duncan has done a phenomenal job all year. Has really coached these young men up. We as a staff, our varsity is our JV staff as well, and Coach Winley, Coach Black, Coach E. So many coaches on his staff. I don't want to leave one or two out. Even Coach Fly. These guys have really poured into our freshmen, our sophomores, and some of our juniors that are still developing within our programming system. So yes, tonight they're going to play a good Grassfield team. They're going to line down and play good football. It's 6A ball, so you got to think when you're playing 6A, you're getting the best of the best. So we're excited about tonight's JV matchup and looking forward to tomorrow night's as well at Grassfield.
Yeah, and last Thursday, I mean, my sisters lived in Northern Virginia since 2000. You and LaShawn used to, live in Northern Virginia, so I know that I was texting you, and it looked like that, we'd be able to have an episode there
Yeah,
last week, but then, with tractor trailers there around King's Dominion, the traffic didn't cooperate, but the team had a nice homecoming win there against
yes.
Great Bridge. I mean, we had a pick six. Derek threw a couple of touchdown passes, and then our running backs had some nice rushing touchdowns. It was definitely a complete game there for homecoming 2024.
Correct, correct. And it was a good atmosphere. The fans came out. Great Bridge band traveled, so you
Oh
had
wow.
everything that felt like a big time game. My kids came out and played good ball. We wanted to emphasize that it's not just Great Bridge. They're a good ball club. They're being coached very well. But for us, if we want to be able to compete in the playoffs, we got to play a complete game. And our boys showed that, and the scoreboard showed it. We're not in the game of running the score up on teams, but we put up 48 points.
Yeah.
We did a good job defensively. We did a good job in the special teams phase. Trey Miller was our overall MVP with 2 touchdown grabs and a pick six, and I believe between 8 to 10 tackles. He had a great game. So, really, really pleased how they performed. I think we've been in every game, Mark.
Yeah.
It's the fourth quarter that we got to learn how to close games out. But it's in the first and third quarter where we got to take advantage of the opportunities and understand that we may not get those opportunities back again. And that's what plagued us and has plagued us throughout our season this year.
Yeah, and so we had a 2 game winning streak, going into last Friday's game against Indian River, and Indian River's coached, Bruin alum, Brandon Carr, and he always has a good ever since he's taken over. He's always had a good Indian River team, and hey, now it's time to turn the page and now get ready for Grassfield tomorrow night.
100%. To speak on Indian River, congratulations to Coach Carr. One of our messages were, you got to play with confidence. So
Right.
Great Bridge came in, and you guys, I mean, it was a completely different team and energy. Indian River came in, you had the energy, you're not afraid, you're not backing down, but you're also not competing with that same level. And that's what we shared with our guys. And then, ultimately, we got to flush it and get ready for Grassfield. We allow, the emotions that come behind the loss to linger into this week, then we could be in trouble. We could be in trouble again. So our kids have done a good job. Our staff has done a good job. And I challenge our coaches to coach as hard as you ever have. Like really get back to that love and that passion of leadership within your position. And the more these kids see it, the more they're going to believe it, within perspective. And that leads us to Grassfield, So Coach Jones has really developed that team. They're not the same team that most people think Grassfield is. They have a good quarterback. They got some skilled guys that can really stretch the field, and they got a defense that just tries to keep everything in front of them. They want to minimize the explosive plays. So for us, we had to have a good week of development of corrections and getting things ready to rock and roll. And I think our boys definitely, with the way we practice this week, Mark, are looking forward to tomorrow night and getting after it.
Yeah, and I mean, and the thing is, I mean, here it is, Halloween, and it's 80 degrees. I mean,
Yeah,
so here we were a couple weeks ago, talking about that football weather is here with us, but
yeah,
another spring, early summer day here
yeah.
has definitely come here for the JV to play tonight and the varsity to have their walkthrough.
Yeah, you know what? As many seasons I've had here in the 757, we know the
Right.
weather can be very tricky. This has been the best season. This is one where we had a full fall camp, limited to heat advisories. We had a opening start of the school year where the weather was favorable, and even when we thought the weather was going to change on us,
Yeah.
a little hint of late summer is kind of coming back around, right? So it's been a great year as far as being able to have full practices, full conditioning, full everything, and a light jacket probably or a light blanket around 6 o'clock or 7 when the sun sets behind Art Brandreth Stadium. But
Yeah.
outside of that, it's just good football weather.
Yeah, and let's see. With it being Halloween, is JV starting any earlier or still 6 o'clock tonight?
Nothing has changed. We want our
Okay.
kids to play football, not be caught up in the neighborhood of trick or treating and all. We don't want them to miss out on it though.
Right.
But we got a game to go get tonight. And Coach Duncan and Coach E have been leading the charge with these young men. So yeah, it's really about them coming out and competing. And and the message afterwards is be smart. After the game is over, be smart. But we're excited about tonight's matchup with Grassfield. They're going to come in confident, and our JV should be confident as well. And we're looking forward to how they compete tonight.
Yeah, and what's the word on middle school football? I mean, here with it being end of October, they're probably coming to the end of their regular season.
Correct, they are. This game field has been very busy this week.
Yeah.
We had Western Branch Middle, I believe, on Tuesday, and
Oh,
then we turned back around, had Jolliffe Middle yesterday. So a lot of our feeder schools are wrapping up their regular season and kind of looking for that seeding. I can't recall if it's only a 14 playoff or if everybody
right.
goes in and it's a 1 versus 8,
Yeah.
2 versus 7. But Jolliffe has got a couple wins. And Western Coast Dale Bridge and West Branch Middle has put together a pretty good season as well. But really, really pleased with the success that both schools have had coming out of COVID and watching coaches develop their team to get them prepared for the high school level. So it's definitely fun to watch. But I believe playoffs will start within the next week or so. So it goes
Okay.
quick. They play
Right.
October. They start in October or late September, and they're
Yeah.
done before November, at least for regular season. So, but I'll turn it back over to you, Mark.
Yeah, and then also, I mean, our Bruin alums that are playing on Saturday. I mean, they're 7, 8 games into their season, so they're
Yeah,
on the back half, and probably only have about 3 or 4 more regular season games left, from the Division 3 all the way up to the FBS level.
correct. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of our boys are definitely competing at a good level. A lot of
Right.
them are still learning in the process as well. And that's what college sports and college football does for you. It's ironic. I read something, it's so many all state players all over the country that are all over rosters. What are the small things that separate you? And I think that's the key to a lot of kids who transition to the college level. Sometimes it's not based on skills, sometimes it's based on retention or the ability to retain information. Sometimes it's based on technique and being coachable or desiring to be coachable. So, definitely pleased with all of our young men that are competing. We got some guys that are definitely competing for all conference honors and opportunities. And then we got guys like Paul Billups that are now cracking the lineup and starting to make plays. Devin Cook flew out to Stanford.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these for Devin being a true freshman, and flying to Connecticut, and then the next week going to Stanford. It's just these small little opportunities that these guys should bottle, hold on to, and allow the ship to sail in the right direction that it needs to go.
Yeah, and the thing is I know that Elizabeth and I have had a busy fall, but
Yeah,
the thing is, I mean, I'm still not used to seeing Stanford and Cal
yeah,
being and SMU being a ACC conference game.
yeah. And I looked at Cal's schedule. It's like fly over to NC State, fly back home to host, fly back over to the East Coast, fly back home to host. It's like, man, this should be very interesting in regards to how they handle this Pac-2,
Yeah.
handle being in the ACC. But I also think it's bigger than football. I think Cal, basketball is something they feel the ACC will help them kind of during that NCAA tournament recognition. I think, Stanford is probably many sports, golf, lacrosse, whatever. These guys are looking at it from a bigger approach other than football, but football generates the most money.
Right.
So to be able to do that, your budget number one got to be there to be able to fly like they do, and that's for all ACC schools. And then number two, the competition. The competition has to be there. So we'll see how long that lasts. I'm not a official of the ACC, so I want to take the
Right.
high road, and
Yeah.
I'll do what I do best, and that's stick to high school football.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
and
all in all, it's fun to watch. Go ahead.
And you know what, Rashad? I know that we've talked about, everybody wants to win,
Yeah,
and but what you and Diana and helping out Miss Hutchinson,
yes,
here, this past Sunday afternoon. I mean, that's that's definitely key. As Miss Hutchinson, I mean, someone that was teaching when we were all walking through the halls of Western Ranch High School. But just what you and Diana and the other ones had there last Sunday afternoon. I mean, that is also rewarding. To reach out to our leaders of for the future with the youth
correct.
today.
Correct. I shared this with Coach Black. I said, man, even though your season isn't going the way you want, even though, for some people they feel like, it's a down year, God would still find a way to use you. You know what I
Right.
mean? He would
Right.
still tap into what makes you who you are and allow your story to be shared. And to me, it was rewarding. Dr. Hutchinson,
Right. Yeah.
um,
That's
yeah,
right. Yeah.
Dr. Hutchinson,
That's
number one, had a great message to the
right.
to the church and congregation, and then number two, to be invited and be able to share my coaching experience to the youth and to the parents and to all the members of the church and visitors was kind of cool because you got it from a high school level, you got it from a college level, you got it from a nutritionist, you got it from a assistant or athletic director, and you got it from a Division One athlete. So you're able to hear similarities, but you're also seeing the differences of what it takes. And then when you get there, what it takes. And then once you're done, what it takes. And that, it was pretty cool. But yeah, awesome, awesome opportunity. She's always, and they have always been a sports family.
Right.
So, I'm not surprised, in a positive way that approach will reach so many others. So it was awesome. It was an honor. Even in the moment, it was like, man, this is pretty cool,
Right.
because I'm also learning
All right.
as I'm giving mine, I'm listening to others and, I'm learning. So it was awesome just to have so many Bruins on the panel and really just tap into our gifts and our strengths. So that's where we are. It was awesome.
Yes, that's right. And I mean,
And,
and then also, her girls, what they've done as adults. They're with athletics, and then
yeah,
just being being a light.
yeah,
The thing is, and it goes back to winning in the classroom,
yep.
winning on the field, and then when it's time here to be that adult mentor.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was crazy. Um, Tiffany doesn't miss anything if it's connected to the Cook family or connected to the Bruins, and it was zero hesitation, for me to accept that opportunity to be a part of the panel and really just share how it looks in our landscape in our scope. And so, again, it was great. When Alexis reached out and said, "Can you do it?" I just needed to check my schedule real quick, but it was a no-brainer. It had to happen, and that just speaks volume of the family and how they've been. Kelly was also there, a former Bruin, now I believe head cheer coach at Hampton University. So
Okay.
just seeing so many Bruins on the panel, but so many good people there, like you said. And I think the last thing, Mark, is you said the classroom, you said the field or the arena of competition, but even as coaches, you got to win in the community.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect, but you just got to do a lot more good than normal. And I think a lot of people take that for granted, and I take it. I try to do my best. I'm not a perfect person, but I try to do my best to make sure that example is there.
Yes. Well, hey, Rashad. Let's see. I know with my personal and work schedule, it's been a busy fall, and but
Yeah,
with you having your appointment here earlier this afternoon, appreciate your time here to come back on and talk about the last 2 weeks of Bruin football, and now as JV hosts Grassfield tonight, and varsity, goes over the high rise bridge to play Grassfield
yeah,
there tomorrow, and go Bruins, and tell the team that Rags and Elizabeth says hi, and go out and get a W tomorrow night.
absolutely. I got you. Now, listen, I got a Bruin flashback.
Okay.
COVID spring
Yeah.
2021,
Yeah.
Connor Williams kicks field goals, and he kicked the game-winning field goal. I think he made 3 field goals, but he kicked and made the 3 that mattered for us to beat Grassfield um, in our first 6A competition. So
Right.
that's just a quick Bruin flashback. Great guy. Again, that class was so special because they bought into the vision, the
Yeah.
goal, vision, and path. And I thought that was pretty cool. Coach Head, those guys embraced my goal, vision, and path, the special teams emphasis. And to kind of go back to that year, 3 years ago, or 3.5, being it was spring season, that's an instant classic to get a win that I think a lot of people didn't think that we would be able to get from a good coach and Coach Asprey when he was at the helm at Grassfield. And it's not bragging, it's just we normally do a Bruin flashback, and that's the
Right.
one that came to mind instantly. But outside of that, man, I appreciate you. I will share with the guys what you shared with me, Mark, and I appreciate you finding time for me to continue to share our story here at Western Branch. Please give our love back to Elizabeth and the rest of
Will
your
do.
family as well, man. And hopefully I get to see you on the sideline soon. I
All
know
right.
Facebook fans miss you, man. All right.
Yeah, well, hey, yeah, I know that it's been a little crazy, but hey, I mean, with the weather here, I mean, you definitely need to make sure to stock those water coolers,
Yeah. Yeah.
so no one's cramping here with
Right.
still baseball weather. I mean, Coach Wright might think it might be time for baseball season.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. But
uh,
yeah, we're good, man. I appreciate
right.
you. I really do, Mark.
All right, Rashad. Well, hey, I'll let you go and download this episode, and go Bruins.
Hey, go Bruins.
All right.